Swami, Srimad ki, Compounder, Beauty Founder, Support ki, Shila Bhakti, Sri Nanda Saraswati Swami, Srimad ki, ki, Shari Hara Saraswati, Thank you, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Bhagwan Srimad, Shri Vaidhi Vana, Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopalana, Shama Kunarakan, Giravadana ki, Shirabhinavadana ki, Shirabhinavadana ki, Shirabhinavadana ki, ISKCON Saraswati Dham ki, Jamuna Maya ki, Holy Times ki, Shrimad Joshi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Shri Harinam Sangeetam ki, Sanskrit Book Distribution ki, Sound Distribution ki, Amrita Bhaktivinoda ki, All Premanandi, all blessed Samri, all blessed Samri, all blessed Samri, all blessed Shri Guru, Shri Guru, blessed Shri Guru. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And, this canto is called Canto 11. And chapter is called Explanation of the Vedic Path. By Lord Krishna to Uddhava. Shaktya Shakyatam Shaktya Shakyasam Buddhya Samridya Cha Yad Atmane Agam Kurvanti Yata Deshavasthanusarata Shakya Shakyatava Buddhya Shakya Sakyasava Buddhya Samridyata Yadatmane Agam Kurvanti Yata Deshavasthanusarata Shakya Shakyata Va Buddhya Sakya Sakyatha Va Buddhya Samridya Cha Yadatmane Agam Kurvanti Yatha Deshavasthanusarata
Shakyata va buddhya
Sakya Sakyatha va Buddhya Samridya Cha Yadatmane Agam Kurvanti Yatha Deshavasthanusarata Sakya Shakyatha va Buddhya Samridya Cha Yadatmane Agam Kurvanti Yatha Deshavasthanusarata Sakya Shakyatha va Buddhya Samridya Cha Yadatmane Agam Kurvanti Yatha
Desavasthanusarathah. Saktya Saktya Tava Buddhya Samridhya cha yadatmane Agham kurvanti yatha Desavasthanusarathah. Saktya Saktya Samudya Samridhya cha yadatmane Agham kurvanti yatha Desavasthanusarathah.
Shakya,
Sakya,
by relative potency.
by relative potency.
Ashakya,
Asakya,
impotent.
importance.
Athava,
Athava,
or. Buddhya,
Buddhya,
in terms of understanding.
in terms of understanding.
Samridhya,
Samridhya,
opulent.
opulence.
Cha,
Cha,
and. Yat, which. Atmane,
Atmane,
to oneself.
to oneself.
Agam,
Agam,
sinful reactions.
sinful reactions.
Kurvanti,
Kurvanti, cause.
He, indeed. Yata, in actuality.
In actuality.
Desha,
Place.
Avastha, or one's condition.
Anusarataha,
In accordance with.
in accordance with.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Mahavishnu and Swami. Srila Prabhupada beings. Impure things may or may not impose sinful reactions upon a person, depending on that person's strength or weakness, intelligence, wealth, location, and physical condition. Please repeat. Impure things may or may not impose sinful reactions upon a person, depending on that person's strength or weakness, intelligence, wealth, location, and physical condition. The Lord has described the purity and impurity of different places, times, and material objects. According to the laws of nature, that which is impure contaminates a particular person in accordance with that person's situation, as described here. For example, on certain occasions, such as a solar eclipse or just after childbirth, one must restrict the intake of food according to ritualistic injunctions. One who is physically weak, however, may eat without being considered impious. Ordinary persons consider the 10 days following childbirth to be most auspicious, whereas one who is learned knows that this period is actually impure. Ignorance of the law does not save one from being punished, but one who consciously commits sinful activities is considered most fallen. Concerning opulence, samriddhi, worn out, dirty clothing, or a messy residence are considered impure for a rich man, but acceptable for one who is poor. The word desha indicates that in a safe and peaceful place, one is obliged to strictly perform religious rituals, whereas in a dangerous or chaotic situation, one may be excused for occasional negligence of secondary principles. One who is physically healthy must offer obeisances to the deity, attend religious functions, and execute his prescribed duties. But a young child or a sickly person may be excused from such activities as indicated by the words avastha. Ultimately, as Srila Rupa Goswami states, Anya Vilasita Shunyam Yana Kamadjana Vrajam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. One should render transcendental translation. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. This is called pure devotional service. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:111. One should accept everything which is favorable for the devotional service of Lord Krishna and reject whatever is unfavorable. One must learn the process of serving God from the bona fide spiritual master, and thus always maintains one's existence pure and free from anxiety. In general, however, when considering the relative purity and impurity of material things, all of the above mentioned factors must be calculated. Disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Omagana Chivandasya Yanandana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhisam Sabitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam Vangam langayate girim Nitkripa saram bande Shri Gurun Dinachayana. By the mercy of Guru, a blind man can see the stars, a lame man can climb mountains, and a dumb man can speak poetry. The Mahavishnu Padaya Krishna Disciple Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Prashani Namaste Shri Srinivadi Prashani. So of course Srila Prabhupada exemplifies a person who can judge all these things according to time, place and circumstance. And his life was a preparation for taking his Vedic knowledge. His life was a preparation, fulfilling the order of his Guru Maharaj to preach to the English-speaking people. And of course, he didn't know. Till he got there, he wasn't sure what to expect. He may have known that there was upsurgence of rebellious youth in America, but he wasn't sure what would happen till he got to America. So he had to adjust. Just like he had to keep his boga, his rice and whatever it was he was eating dal, in the fridge of Sally Agarwal. All glories to the Agarwals of the world. But they were keeping meat in the fridge in Butler, Pennsylvania. And when Mr. Agarwal was smoking cigarettes in front of him, think nothing of it. Think nothing of it. So this is adjusting the rules. I mean, the elevated Paramahansa, Sannyasi, what was he doing? He was on Sankirtan. He had a mission to spread this movement. So okay, think nothing of it, meat in the fridge. And he had to adjust, going to Simon's circumstance, because for one time I read he was washing his cloth in the bath, and the water was coming through the ceiling. And because no one else was washing Prabhupada's cloth, but the water was coming through the ceiling. And so Sali Agarwal was, Swamiji, Swamiji. And then what did Prabhupada do? He laid it on his cloth to dry on the front lawn. Which is absolutely not done in America. You don't put your cloth on the front lawn to dry. So it's, Swamiji, you can't do this. The Prabhupada had to learn. He had to learn, the customs of different people. And he went to different churches and stayed at the YMCA. And you could see people weren't really interested very much. He was a novelty. And then, of course, he moved to upstate New York, Riverside, stayed at Dr. Mishra's yoga studio where people are doing yoga. Now ISKCON uses yoga as a bridge preaching. Seen it all over the world. And it's quite successful. I remember one time we were doing yoga in Vrindavan, Mataji was organizing it. There's a place in the forest called New Namasharanya. It's a big clearing in the woods. And then we had a big kirtan. All the yogis are dancing and singing like anything. Yeah. So, but in this case, Prabhupada was in a yoga studio and they were doing this, pranayama and breathing exercise. And Prabhupada noticed they were sleeping. So what kind of yoga is this? Real yoga is actually impossible in this age. Stare at the tip of your nose with your eyes half closed, in a sacred place in the middle of the jungle, completely free of sex life, sitting on a deer skin. Even Arjuna said that this kind of practice is impossible for me. Chancharam hi Mana Krishna. The mind is just completely uncontrollable by this method. So it's not practiced, not recommended for us. The Prabhupada knew this. This was his stepping stone. Prabhupada's stepping stone. Okay, I'll stay at Dr. Mishra's for a while and try and find where will be the next step. And then he was invited to Lower East Side. There are young people there, they're looking for something. They're looking for the truth. What am I? Who am I? The basic things. They weren't middle class people trying to have better sex life, better health, by doing yoga. They were actually searching for the truth. Why am I suffering from the threefold miseries? Who am I? What's going on here? In this hellish place. Threefold miseries means miseries of the mind, our own mind and body, miseries from other people, miseries from weather conditions. Isn't this the real purpose of human life? What are we doing here? Are we just supposed to tolerate all these things and just get on and try and enjoy? Is there no solution? Just like Sanatana Goswami, he approached Lord Chaitanya in Varanasi. He spoke these words. Actually, Arjuna didn't speak these words. Arjuna just said, I'm confused. Please, please instruct me. I don't know anything. But Sanatana Goswami was more advanced, Prabhupada said, because he asked this question, who am I? What am I? What is this consciousness? What is this body? What is this world? What am I doing here? Fundamental questions. Prabhupada was looking for people who are interested in this. And Hare Krishna movement, we're interested in people who are asking these questions. This is actually a very radical movement for changing the world. People are in ignorance, they don't ask these questions. They're working hard. Ahara nidra bhaya maitanam cha. Samana, Etat, Pashubi Samana. These things are the same as the animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. What's the good of it? It's not going to solve the problem. The animals are suffering. All the animals are suffering. And the trees are suffering. Everyone's suffering from birth, old age, disease, and death. And who's going to solve it? Who's going to solve these problems but the Hare Krishna movement? Prabhupada understood this. Everyone's barking up the wrong tree with their politics and their economics, the social welfare and their family affairs. What's your family going to do to you? How can they help you from the clutches of death? Deya Patrakala Chadishu, Atmasanyasva Sasvati, Tesham Brahmatanidanam Pashinabhina Pashiti. All your family members, your wife, your kids, they're not going to save you at the time of death unless they're devotees. And they're screaming, Hare Krishna, in your ear. Just pray that my children will do that. Or somebody will do that. Krishna can arrange it. But for most people, no one's chanting Hare Krishna in their ear. So that depending on your wife, your family, and your children, your relatives, and your money, what can they do? They're fallible soldiers. Soldiers can't help you. Your mobile phone won't help you unless you're a devotee. You've got Prabhupada praying. Because I'm just talking about out there, maybe some materialistic people. This is in-house here. But who knows, this may be heard all over the world. Hopefully, the Prime Minister. Who's the Prime Minister in England now? Nobody knows.
She resigned.
Nobody knows? Any names?
Theresa May.
Huh?
Theresa May. Theresa May.
She resigned.
Is she?
She's
Maybe the Queen's hearing.
she's still on the position till another replacement comes.
Okay.
End of
She's
July.
in the field, right?
Yes.
So Theresa May and her followers, even the Queen of England, she should also understand. She did. She actually said, if only I could understand Bhagavad Gita properly. She was a very pious lady, obviously. But she should understand that Britain was always a very pious place. The Druids actually, before the Christians came, this was a Druid culture. And they found out, the Christian scholars, they found many manuscripts in Cardiff Museum. And it's just like Ishopanishad. How the soul is transmigrating through different bodies, many species of life, till one gets the seed of devotional service. This was the original culture of England. Now we've forgotten it. And actually the so-called Christianity, which has been traditional in England, is completely doctored. It's not the original Christianity of Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus, they had strict sadhana, they were vegetarians, they believed in reincarnation, but for the purpose of politics, the Roman Catholic Church, they changed everything until they dug up the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they found that it was similar, very similar to the Hare Krishna movement. And they were strict in their sadhana, they had proper arrangements, they chanted the names of God. But this has all been forgotten. So that's why Prabhupada came to London and said, I've come to teach you what you have forgotten, love of God. So we're still supposed to teach people that. We're not supposed to be, sitting here comfortably. We're supposed to make a revolution in the misguided lives. In the lives of a misguided civilization. So that's what Prabhupada was trying to do when he went to America. And his principle was, and this was the principle of Lord Chaitanya, that everything should be used for preaching. Every situation could be used for preaching Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada had to be innovative. Prabhupada in 38, verse 38, chapter 7, Adilila Chaitanya Chaitanya, Prabhupada says it's a principle where the preacher must strictly follow the rules and regulations. At the same time, discover ways so that fallen souls may be reprieved from birth and death, suffering. So this is actually an innovative movement. We can't just sit by and be stereotyped. Prabhupada was criticized by his brothers like anything. Why are you having girls and boys in the same building? What's going on? Sorry, I don't know, my English is not good. No way you are taking the boys and girls in the same building. This is very bad. This is not done by these sannyasis. And you are also marrying the boys and girls. I don't think this is proper. So, you know, Prabhupada was thick-skinned. You have to be thick-skinned to be in this movement, because you're bound to be criticized by everybody. You know. So, Prabhupada didn't care. In his purport he writes that actually Lord Chaitanya was so innovative. He took sannyas when he was 24. He had a beautiful wife. He had a young mother also. He had, he was respectable. Why did he take sannyas? This is not Vedic sannyas. It's not Vedic sannyas. It's for preaching. No, it's not Vedic sannyas. Prabhupada was giving sannyas to young people for preaching, and it worked. Maybe they fell down. So what? But the point is the idea of spreading the holy name in every town and village of the world to satisfy Lord Chaitanya. So this is the mission of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada said, what will their stereotype methods do? They couldn't preach. They may criticize me, but they couldn't preach. They couldn't get it going. We just had a nice festival in Tompkins Square Park under the same tree where Prabhupada was standing. And it was nice, a nice festival in New York. Many young people came with dancing, singing, and a lot of prasadam. Maybe not enough. Maybe not enough prasadam. But this was, it was an idea that, okay, let's have a big festival in Tompkins Square Park. This was the whole idea. Another innovative idea I saw in New York Rath Yatra. They had gift packs. And each pack was a sticker of Jagannath. There was an advertisement for the Bhakti Center. There was an advertisement for Matchless Gifts. There was an advertisement for the Brooklyn Center. There was a thing about chanting, meditation. There were different things. There was a reservoir of pleasure book, and giving them to everyone on the parade. There's a lollipop and a sweet. There's a lollipop and a biscuit. That's innovative, no? It's a good idea. And in Panama Rath Yatra, it was also quite innovative. Some devotees knew the people in the TV, and we went to the TV studios, two big TV studios, and we did cooking classes, interviews with the Swamis, from in Spanish of course, and then kirtan, after the kirtan, and then there was, natak dances, and this lasted all over Panama City, the day before Rath Yatra, 2 days before prime time. So we had a good turnout. It was quite innovative. And we had a big auditorium by the sea, and they had, Bollywood dances, and of course things could be better, could be improved. There's always room for improvement. So all these stipulations in this verse, they can be reconciled by this adhering, taking up, following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has shown us how to do it. People think, okay, the cows are suffering, so we can't drink their milk. What did Prabhupada do? You think Prabhupada didn't know the cows were suffering? He talked about slaughterhouses many times. But he took that milk and offered to Krishna. Why? Because he knew that if the milk was offered to Krishna, the cows would benefit. Because they're doing devotional service. So, and then on the other hand, you have vegan preparations in Govindas, because then people of vegans can eat prasadam. So it has to be adjustable. It can't be like, you know.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I mean, you know, the ISIS fundamental Islam, they're always trying to find ways, you know, blow up people. Trying to find new ways. So we also have to find new ways, you know, to spread Krishna consciousness. Of course, this is a cue for taking out my hat. Okay? People think I have a very crazy guy with a crown on, but actually, this is teaching a novel way, because I was brought up as an artist. It's a novel way to spread Krishna consciousness. Many people ask me about my. So, you know, this shows the soul traveling through different bodies. You can choose which body you are. The lucky ones are getting married here. And then, actually, this is Her Majesty the Queen. Come here. So then, this is me here. The old man, fishing man. The lady leaving her body, Nepali lady. Of course, this skeleton. And then, of course, the science, Yam Yam Bhati Smaram Bhavam, Chachante. According to our mind, we're getting a new body. And then, of course, Srila Prabhupada, yeah? Of course, Jagannath Swami King!
Jai!
This was the most innovative thing that Prabhupada introduced in the West, is this Jagannath festival. And I think ours was the first Jagannath festival in the West, in London, 69, wasn't it?
San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco, sorry. And then London. And then even our Rath Yatra broke down on the first in Marble Arch. Still it was a success, we tried. So we should always think how to expand. And we have, how many Rath Yatras now in England? Huh?
51 this year, Maharaj.
61?
51. Apparently.
51?
Yeah, 50th anniversary of Rath Yatra.
Now, how many Rath Yatras do we celebrate?
How many different hundreds. I can't lost count for them.
Uncountable. And of course, music also. We can be innovative in music. Ah! So it's not all wrapped on my hat. There's also Prabhupada's lectures, and they were very revolutionary lectures. And so wherever I go, the people stop, they want to take photographs of my hat. And then I explain to them what is reincarnation.
The child is changing his body a child's body, you remember. Or he had a boy's body, you remember. But the body is no longer existing. But you are existing. Therefore, the conclusion is that when this body will be no more fit for existing, we shall have to accept that.
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
So, this is, of course, Bhagavad Gita in English, advertisement, Mahamantra in English, Chinese here, and Spanish also. You have other ones too. So everyone, if they rack our brains, how to spread this movement, according to time and circumstance, this movement will spread very quickly, Prabhupada will be happy, and there's so many things to do. It is a mission. If we take this mission seriously, all the problems will be solved in the world. This is the peace formula.
Sam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Shridham Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shanti Vrichati.
Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. God is the supreme enjoyer. We are His servants. God is the proprietor of everything. Krishna is the proprietor of everything. And He's the supreme friend of everyone. And they will attain peace from the pangs of material existence. Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Thank you very much. We got 6 minutes for questions.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for being here, Maharaj. I was just wondering about being innovative. How do we be innovative without losing the integrity of Krishna consciousness? For example, teaching yoga or going on Sankirtan in calming clothes, and yet there are so many rules and regulations. How do we know where to draw the line? And Srila Prabhupada was an eternally liberated person. He could make those decisions, but what to speak of us?
Therefore we have, although Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that organized religion is a necessary evil, still we do have association of devotees and we have some institution prophets for that. So they can judge the parameters. But individually, we have to judge whether we're making progress in spiritual life, whether we're becoming detached from sense gratification, and we're becoming attracted to chanting the holy names, and prasadam, and association of devotees. So, this is the simple answer, whether we're becoming detached from sense gratification and attached to serving Krishna. This is our test, individual test. And then otherwise it's up to the institution. What you can do, what you can't do. Maybe limits. But, Prabhupada was very innovative. He was dancing with the hippies. And, living with hippies. Just like we're hearing about purity and impurity. One nice leela I remember from, I think it's from Shamasunda's book. There was a cat in Frederick Street in San Francisco. There was a cat living under the bath. The Prabhupada used to take a bath. It was like, rinky-dinky arrangement for Prabhupada. The Prabhupada didn't mind, So, I thought, what? Anyone remember what the cat was called? Woozy Woozy or something. Flunky Monkey or something. Anyway, Prabhupada was sitting in his room, talking with all the devotees. And then by his seat,